The year 1975 marked a turning point in Cambodian history. A communist faction known as the Khmer Rouge, led by Pol Pot, seized control of the country. They promised a utopian agrarian society. Instead, they unleashed a reign of terror. Cambodia was thrust into an abyss, its culture and history erased. The Khmer Rouge's victory followed years of turmoil. Cambodia had been drawn into the Vietnam War, with the United States launching bombing campaigns. This chaos provided fertile ground for the Khmer Rouge. On April 17, 1975, the Khmer Rouge marched into Phnom Penh. They ordered the evacuation of all urban centers. This was the beginning of Year Zero. Families were torn apart, possessions confiscated, and daily life shattered. The Khmer Rouge's ideology was a toxic blend of extreme Maoism, xenophobic nationalism, and a warped interpretation of agrarian socialism. They sought to create a classless society, not through social reform, but through the complete eradication of existing social structures. Cities, seen as symbols of corruption and Western decadence, were emptied. Religion, especially Buddhism, was brutally suppressed. Education, beyond the rudimentary, was forbidden. Central to the Khmer Rouge's vision was the transformation of Cambodia into a nation of peasants. Intellectuals, professionals, and anyone deemed a potential enemy of the revolution were targeted. Wearing glasses, speaking a foreign language, or even having soft hands could be a death sentence. The Khmer Rouge instituted a system of forced labor and collectivization that was both inefficient and inhumane. Millions of Cambodians were driven into the countryside and forced to work long hours in rice paddies and other agricultural projects. Food was scarce, healthcare non-existent, and dissent ruthlessly punished. The regime's policies created a climate of fear and desperation, where survival became the only imperative. The impact of the Khmer Rouge's policies on Cambodian society was catastrophic. The forced evacuation of cities, coupled with the regime's brutal methods of social engineering, led to widespread famine and disease. Millions died from starvation, overwork, lack of medical care, and outright execution. The Cambodian genocide, as it came to be known, stands as one of the most horrific acts of state-sponsored violence in human history. The Khmer Rouge regime targeted specific groups for elimination. Ethnic Vietnamese, Cham Muslims, and other minorities were persecuted and massacred. Intellectuals, artists, teachers, and anyone deemed a threat to the regime's ideology were systematically killed. The infamous killing fields, scattered across the Cambodian countryside, became grim testaments to the regime's barbarity. Families were torn apart, trust shattered, and traditional values subverted. The regime's systematic use of torture, their encouragement of children to denounce their parents, and their relentless propaganda created a climate of fear and paranoia that permeated every aspect of life. The Khmer Rouge's brutal experiment in social engineering left Cambodia in ruins. The Khmer Rouge's reign of terror ended in 1979 when Vietnam invaded Cambodia. The Vietnamese-backed People's Republic of Kampuchea was installed, but conflict persisted. Rebuilding the nation was long and arduous. The world learned the extent of the horrors inflicted on the Cambodian people. The killing fields became chilling symbols of the genocide. International pressure grew for justice. The Extraordinary Chambers in the Courts of Cambodia was established in 2006. High-ranking members, including Nuon Chi, were convicted and sentenced. The trials serve as a reminder that heinous crimes will not go unpunished. Section 5. Voices from the Abyss. Personal stories of survival and loss. While the historical record provides a necessary framework for understanding the Khmer Rouge regime, it is the personal stories of survivors that truly bring the horrors of that era to life. One such story is that of Van Nath, a painter who survived the notorious S-21 prison, a former high school converted into a torture and interrogation center. Nath's artistic talent spared his life. The Khmer Rouge forced him to paint portraits of Pol Pot. He later used his art to document the atrocities he witnessed, preserving the memory of his fellow prisoners, and ensuring that their suffering would not be forgotten. Another powerful voice is that of Long Ung, who was just 5 years old when the Khmer Rouge came to power. Separated from her family, she was forced to become a child soldier, trained to kill and indoctrinated with the regime's ideology. Her memoir, First They Killed My Father, offers a chilling glimpse into the world through the eyes of a child caught in the grip of genocide. Section 6. Scars on the Land, the enduring legacy of the Khmer Rouge. Over 4 decades have passed since the fall of the Khmer Rouge regime, yet its legacy continues to cast a long shadow over Cambodia. The physical and emotional scars left by the genocide run deep, impacting every aspect of Cambodian society, from politics and economics to culture and daily life. An estimated 2 million people, nearly a quarter of the population, perished during the regime's reign. This demographic catastrophe created a generational gap, leaving Cambodia with a disproportionate number of young people and a profound shortage of skilled workers, educators, and professionals. The Khmer Rouge's systematic destruction of Cambodian institutions and infrastructure also left a lasting impact. Schools, hospitals, temples, and libraries were destroyed or repurposed for the regime's own ends. The country's economy was shattered, and its once vibrant cultural traditions were suppressed. Rebuilding from this level of devastation has been a monumental task. Despite the challenges, Cambodia has made remarkable progress in recent decades. The economy has grown steadily, fueled by tourism, garment manufacturing, and agriculture. Section 7. Justice and Remembrance. The extraordinary chambers in the courts of Cambodia. In the aftermath of the Khmer Rouge regime, the pursuit of justice and the need for remembrance became paramount. The extraordinary chambers in the courts of Cambodia, or ECCC, emerged as a symbol of this commitment. The ECCC, established in 2006 after years of negotiations between the Cambodian government and the United Nations, represented a unique hybrid tribunal, blending elements of international and Cambodian law. Its mandate was to try senior leaders of the Khmer Rouge for genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. The ECCC's trials, though often slow and complex, were groundbreaking in their scope and significance. They provided a platform for survivors to share their stories, to confront their abusers, and to seek a measure of justice for the crimes committed against them and their loved ones. The trials also served as a powerful reminder to the world of the horrors of the Khmer Rouge regime and the importance of accountability. Section 8. Never Forget. Learning from the Past, Building a Better Future. The legacy of the Khmer Rouge regime stands as a stark warning against the perils of unchecked ideology, the dangers of totalitarian rule, and the fragility of peace and human rights. Remembering the victims of the Khmer Rouge is not merely an act of mourning the past, it is an essential step towards building a better future. By acknowledging the atrocities that occurred, by listening to the stories of survivors, and by seeking justice for the perpetrators, we honor the memory of those who perished and reaffirm our commitment to preventing such horrors from happening again. Education plays a vital role in this process of remembrance and prevention. By teaching future generations about the Khmer Rouge regime, about the dangers of prejudice and discrimination, and about the importance of tolerance and respect for human rights, we can help to create a more just and compassionate world. By remembering the victims, honoring their memory, and working to prevent future atrocities, we can help to build a world where such horrors are never repeated.